It started when I moved into the old cottage my aunt left me in her will. I wasn't close to her. We exchanged birthday cards at most, but she had no kids of her own, and I guess I was the next of kin. The place was tucked away in a sleepy village in the north, a couple of hours from anything resembling a city. Quiet, isolated, which at the time sounded perfect. I'd just gotten out of a toxic job and a worse relationship. The idea of starting over somewhere peaceful, surrounded by nature and silence, was all I wanted. The cottage was small and smelled of dust and age. Most of the furniture was still there, covered in sheets and cobwebs. I spent the first few days airing it out, sweeping the floors, fixing what little I could. The power worked. The water too, though it groaned through the pipes like it hated being woken up. The first weird thing happened about a week in. I was trying to pry up a warped floorboard in the bedroom. The corner had splintered, and I figured I'd replace it. Underneath was just dirt and decades of dust, and a folded piece of paper. It looked fresh, like it had been placed there recently. I opened it, expecting maybe a letter or an old bill. Instead, I found a note, written in my handwriting. "You shouldn't have come back." I stared at it for a full minute. My first thought was that I'd written it and forgotten, but I hadn't lived here before. Ever. I'd visited maybe twice as a kid, both times for a couple of hours. I had no memory of this place, and I definitely hadn't written a note and hidden it under the floor. Still, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a prank, or maybe I was just tired and my brain was playing tricks on me. Stress can do that. That's what I told myself anyway. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the note. I left it on the kitchen table and checked it again every few hours. Same handwriting, same strange message. The next day, I dug up more floorboards, and I found more notes. All of them were in my handwriting. Different ink, different paper, but all unmistakably mine. "Don't go to the attic. Stop looking. He hears when you think about him. Leave." My stomach turned as I read each one. I didn't know what to make of it. I wanted to believe it was a joke, but I was alone. I hadn't told anyone I was moving in yet. My phone barely had signal, and no one in the village even knew me. Who would go to this much effort? By the time I found the 8th note, I'd stopped trying to explain it. That night I dreamed about my aunt. She was standing at the foot of my bed, her face obscured by shadow, whispering something I couldn't understand. When I woke up, I was standing in the attic. The door was shut behind me. I don't even remember going up there. The attic was small, with slanted ceilings and a single window. The air was thick and cold, like it hadn't been disturbed in years. There were boxes stacked in the corners, all labeled in faded marker. Old photos, linens, misc. But one box was different. It sat in the center of the room, as if someone had placed it there deliberately. No label, just a plain cardboard box, closed but not taped shut. I opened it. Inside were more notes. Dozens of them. Hundreds. All in my handwriting. Some were smeared, others crumpled. One was written in what looked like dried blood. I didn't read them. I couldn't. I shoved the lid back on and left the attic, heart pounding in my chest. I tried to leave the next day. Packed a bag, got in my car, started driving. But every road I took led me back to the cottage. Every turn, every detour. I always ended up back on that same narrow road with the crooked fence and the dead tree in front. The village was empty. Doors locked, curtains drawn. I knocked on every house. No answer. Not even the sound of movement inside. It was like they'd all vanished. That night I heard scratching under the floorboards. Not mice. Not rats. Something bigger. I sat on the bed with a flashlight in one hand and the first note in the other. You shouldn't have come back. But I didn't come back. I never lived here. I never wrote these notes, right? Then I noticed the mirror, the one in the hallway. I could see it from where I was sitting. It reflected part of the bedroom door, and in the reflection, I saw myself, standing in the hallway. But I was still sitting on the bed. The reflection turned and walked away. I didn't move for hours. It's been days now, I think. The clocks don't work. My phone is dead. Every time I try to sleep, I wake up in a different part of the house. Sometimes with notes in my hands. Sometimes with dirt under my nails. There's one pinned to the wall now, right in front of me. He's inside now. I don't know who he is. I don't know if I'm still me.